Hello everyone. Welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 2425 named Bitwise XOR of all pairings. Here we are given two integer array which is num1 and num2 consisting of non-negative integers, and there exists another array num3 which contains the bitwise XOR of all pairing of integers between number1 and number2 array. And we have to return the bitwise XOR of all integers in the third array. Suppose in the first example, the first array contains 3 elements, which is 2, 1, and 3. And the second array contains 4 elements, which is 10, 2, 5, and 0. So here, one possible third array is 8, 0, 7, 2, 11, and so on. And if we perform the bitwise XOR operation among all of these elements, the output will be 13. I hope you understood the problem statement. Now let's move on to the algorithm. Now, before jumping into the algorithm, let's try to understand the truth table of the XOR operation. Here, if it is the variable A and it is the variable B and it is the output of A XOR B, then if the variable A is 0, the variable B is 0, the XOR will be 0. The variable A is 1, the variable B is 0, then the XOR will be 1. If the variable A is 0 and the variable B is 1, the XOR will be 1. And if the variable A is 1 and variable B is also 1, the XOR will be 0. That means the property of XOR is that if both of the bit of A and B is equal, then the output bit is definitely 0. That means here two of the bit are 0, so output is 0. And here two of the bit is 1, so output will be 0 again. This concept will be useful in the next section. Now another property is that for any of the two equal integer, their XOR will be 0. Suppose we have integer 5 which is 101 and we have another integer 5 which is 101, as corresponding bits are equal, so the XOR will be definitely 0. So these are the two major concepts we will use to solve this problem. Now let's take some of the examples. Suppose the array, first array contains element 1 and 2. The second array contains element 3 and 4. Okay, so far so good. Now we have to calculate the XOR of 1 with 3, then 1 with 4, then XOR of 2 with 3 and 2 with 4, and perform XOR operation in these 4 integers. Here, the first XOR will be 1 XOR 3, second XOR will be 1 XOR 4, the third XOR will be 2 XOR 3, and it is 2 XOR 4. Now we have to perform the XOR operation among all of these integers. So we have to perform XOR here and XOR here. Similarly, XOR here and XOR here. That means this is only one integer. Okay, so far so good. Now we know that in the XOR operation, if both of the integer are equal, that means the XOR will be 0. So here 1, 3 is here, another 3 is here, their XOR will be 0. This 4 XOR will be 0, this 2 XOR will be 0, and this 1 XOR will be 0. That means one intuition is that if the length of both of the first and the second array is even, in those kind of cases, the output will be 0. This is one intuition. Okay, so far so good. Now let's make the length of the first array odd, which is 1, 2, and 3, and the length of the second array is even. which is 4 and 5. Okay. Now the XOR will be 1 XOR 4, 2 XOR 4. It's not 2 XOR 4 actually. It will be 1 XOR 5. That means 1 XOR 4 and 1 XOR 5. Similarly, 2 XOR 4, 2 XOR 5. Similarly, 3 XOR 4 and 3 XOR 5. And we have to perform the XOR operation among all of these elements, so we have to use XOR here. Now here, 1 is here and 1 is here, so we have to discard both of them as their XOR is 1. 2, 2 will be discarded, 3, 3 will be discarded, 4, 4 will be discarded, and 5, 5 will be discarded. So here we can see that only 2 of the element remains, which is 4 and 5. So here the output will be 4 XOR 5. Okay. Now what is the intuition? The intuition is if the first array length is odd, that means the XOR of or the answer of this algorithm is XOR of all of the element in the second array. Okay. So far, so good. Now, let's assume the length of the second array is odd, which is 3, 4, and 5. Similarly, here the XOR will be 1 XOR 3, 1 XOR 4, 1 XOR 5, 2 XOR 3, 2 XOR 4, 2 XOR 5. Okay. Now we have to discard this both of the 1, this both of the 3, this both of the 2, and this both of the 4. And now we have to discard this both of the 5 as well. So here we can see that only 2 elements is remaining, which is 1 and 2. That means here the answer will be 1 XOR 2. So what is the intuition? If the first or the second array length is odd, that means the XOR will be XOR all XOR elements of the first array. This is another intuition. Now, it can be possible that both of the string, both of the array contains the odd number of element. Suppose it is 1, 2, and 3. Another is 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now there will be 3 multiplied by 3, 9 combination, which is 1 multiplied by 4, 2 multiplied by 4, 3 multiplied by 4, 2 multiplied by 4, 3 multiplied by 4, sorry, I have maybe forgot the pattern, which is 1 multiplied by 4, 1 multiplied by 5, 1 multiplied by 6, 2 multiplied by 4, 2 multiplied by 5, 2 multiplied by 6, 3 multiplied by 4, 3 multiplied by 5, and similarly 3 multiplied by 6. Now let's discard all of the common element. This 1 will be discarded, this 2 will be discarded, this 3 will be discarded, this 4 will be discarded, this 5 will be discarded, and this 6 will be discarded. But we have seen that the element remaining will be 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we can say that if both of the array is odd length, that means the answer will be XOR of both of the elements in both of the array. So here the algorithm is pretty simple. We have to simply deal with the length of the array. If both lengths is even, the output is 0. If the first array length is odd and second array length is even, the output will be XOR of all of the element in the second array. Similarly, if the first array length is even and second array length is odd, the output will be XOR of all of the element in the first array. Otherwise, if the length of both of the array is odd, that means here the output will be XOR element of all of the element in the both of the array. I hope you understood the algorithm. Now let's move on to the code. In this problem, the code is pretty simple. We are given a function and two vector as a parameter. We are calculating the size of both of the vector, which is n and m. Now here, if both of them is even, the output will be 0. Otherwise, in the x and y, we are storing the XOR of all of the elements in the a vector and the b vector. Now, if the first vector size is even and second vector size is 1, we have to return y. And if the first vector size is 0, or sorry, if the first vector size is even and the second vector size, which is m, if it's 1 or it is odd, we have to simply return x. Otherwise, we have to return the XOR element of the both of the array. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching this video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.